Hello, everyone. We are live from SWAB Barcelona, and this is Artist Ally at SWAB Radio. I'm Shav, Brazilian curator, artist mentor, and co founder of Artist Ally, a platform supporting immigrant and international creatives in Barcelona. Our mission is to build maps, tools, rituals, and ecosystems that help artists thrive with authenticity, especially those far from their homes. We basically teach artists everything they are not taught in art school, from marketing and communication strategy, self-care, and resources management, such as time and our own energy. Yeah, guys, it's very important for us to be able to manage ourselves, our energy, and time in this life. So, at Artist Ally, one of the ways we support artists is by literally mapping the Barcelona ecosystem. We create living maps that artists can add to their own Google account, crafted especially for different practices. Like, for example, a photographer map that we have. In this photographer map, we're mapping, for example, centers civics that are focused in photography, places that they can produce fine art printing for the photographers, and also places where they can sell the photography that they have available. Also, through our certified allies who go deeper with us in offering resources and benefits to our circle of subscribers. A big part of the Artist Ally circle is made up of immigrants like us. So this mapping work is how we weave together an accessible support system, so no one feels alone in Barcelona city. And today, we are joined by some of those very allies who are part of this ecosystem and who embody this supportive spirit. We have here with us Casa Espacio with Juan P, 200 Cent with Kira and Anna, and Blake, who is actually also the other co-founder of Artist Ally, and and also a Boto Gallery manager. And Blake, could you actually please introduce yourself, what you do, and your connection to Barcelona art scene?
Hi, I'm Blake Zagrossi. I am the associate director at Boto Gallery, and I've spent some time in Barcelona, working in Barcelona. I studied arts and cultural management in Barcelona, and I worked for a gallery here, and I've always found that Barcelona especially was a welcoming community, and it is part of the reason I come to SWAB every year. So my experience as a gallerist has always been very positive, and what I want to do is kind of spread that ethos, spread that kind of community-driven idea, and just kind of be very transparent about how it is to run a gallery, and then help and support and create like a community of gallerists and networks of artists. So I always have this idea of rising tides help all boats. So here we are.
Also, thank you, Blake. We actually met at the Masters here, and that's how our journey started together. And now we have here also Anna and Kira from 200 Cent. So if you could also introduce yourselves, what you do, and your relationship to Barcelona art scene.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna. I'm a practicing artist and a co-founder and co-director of 200 Cent, which is a relatively new space in Barcelona. We've been exhibiting for the past 2.5 years, and our goal is to create a community and give a voice to emerging artists in the city. I pass you over to Kira.
Hi, yes, my name is Kira. I'm also part of the 200 Cent team, and we've been in Barcelona now working on this project specifically for about 2.5 years. And our main goal is to grow, collaborate, support artists, and keep it flowing, keep it constantly in action. So we're super happy to be here today and be collaborators with Artist Ally.
Thank you, girls. Now I would like to introduce Juan P from Casa Espacio. If you could, also introduce yourself, what you guys do, and everything else.
Hey, thank you for having us. I'm Juan P from Casa Espacio. I'm the co-director and co-founder from Casa Espacio, and gallery and art space that we have in El Raval here in Barcelona. We run the space since April for 2023. both are Argentinians that we live here after COVID, so we knew that we have the necessity to open a space. After the COVID, we felt the necessity of share our values and share how we feel, and we have the opportunity of open this space. So right now we have more. We do exhibitions, we do collaborations with other galleries, we collaborate with 200 Cents as well. We open calls for artists that are from abroad, Barcelona, and we also focus on the immigrants that come in Barcelona, as we try to make a mirror how Barcelona is for us, this multicultural space where there's a lot of voices that need to be heard. So we try to make the reflection of what we see in the city. So yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
the half part of the project. Violeto is the other half, also co-founder and co-director. So she would like to be here, but she's on the booth right now. So yeah.
Very well said, Juanpi. And actually, this can be seen, everything that you said, by you guys being one of our first certified allies, basically. And now I have a few questions for us to explore together. They are all related to being an immigrant, an international artist, curator, gallerist in Barcelona, and also a little bit of the off-studio work that we all have to do to even be here today, for example, at SWAB. So actually the first question I have is, what has been your experience entering the Barcelona art scene as an immigrant? And for example, what beauties and challenges have you faced, and what helped you get through them?
Yes, I'm Blake from About Gallery again, and I kind of have the unique position of being the only gallery that's not actually physically based here in Barcelona. However, kind of like some of the challenges that I've faced, well, not challenges, the beauties are that I've been to a couple other fairs, and SWAB was kind of one of the first ones where I really felt like there was a strong sense of community. We had the awesome luck of being placed next to the team at Casa Espacio, and I had so much fun. I thought, like, I have to come back, and I have to be part of this Barcelona art scene, and I want to continue coming back so I can see my friends. And then some of the challenges, obviously, are me being English. There's a language barrier, but I find Barcelona specifically as a city has always been very welcoming of people that speak different languages. And even for me, just getting used to the art market here is a bit different than it is in Toronto. But I feel like just an experience as a gallerist, kind of learn to go through it, and using that experience to kind of roll with the punches. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, I guess I can pass it along now.
Yeah, I'd like to follow up on what Blake said. I think the people and making friends has been a big motivation for staying and sticking around and continuing 200 Cent. When I arrived here, I moved into a place with 15 artists, and it was this big warehouse, and I didn't know anyone when I moved here, and I immediately felt at home. I had the privilege as well of being able to come here to study, and I think that definitely gave me a lot of a big safety net. I met a lot of people through my school, and then eventually I moved into a studio actually here in Pobla Sec with 5 guys from the university, from Bellas Artes, and I think through that I started to get to know a lot more the Catalan art scene, and it was really nice. I felt a lot more comfortable and felt like maybe I belonged here a bit more. And opening 200 Cent, I feel like it was giving back to this, what they had given me as an English person coming here. I know a lot of people don't like English people, so it was nice to feel welcome. Yeah, and definitely speaking Catalan and wanting to learn the language has given me a big, it's been very useful, and I want to continue. I just started the free classes. They're great.
Okay. Actually, I think here that's one of the biggest challenges, but also quite a nice one to introduce ourselves to the scene. A lot of the becas, like the open calls or even grants, from Barcelona, they are all in Catalan. So that's even something that I would already jump in and say that it's an important thing. If people are here in Barcelona, artists, galleries, to learn the language, to respect also this language, and to even introduce themselves even deeper into the scene and get the support from the Catalan Ajuntament, government, which is, I think, a quite a good advice.
Totally. Yeah, I think one of the beautiful parts about Barcelona is the diversity and how many different people are here from all around the world. And I think within that, you kind of find a sense of home no matter where you are, because you'll be sitting with a group of people talking about anything, and you could realize, wow, everyone here is from a different country, from a different context, and within that, you feel at home in a way. You're not different from anyone else because everyone's different, quote unquote. And within that, I think there's a lot of expansion, a lot of opportunity to find yourself and find, what you like. There's options everywhere for things to do, places to explore, and artwork to be investigating and exploring with. And I think landing in Barcelona, this somehow gave me confidence to put myself out there and meet new people, go to exhibitions, just try anything and everything out because of a curiosity. And I think that confidence has continued in the work now, that now I feel the confidence to share other artists' artwork and to have a space that can continue and support artists with that same energy moving forward.
That's great. Juanpi, do you also have something to share?
About what? About I lost. Ask me. What?
Actually, we can also just move on because I have a few other questions, and maybe you can start.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, what tips would you give to other international artists or galleries that are now currently based in Barcelona?
Oh wow. I think that the tips that I can do is from my own experience, that as we came from Argentina and we are like immigrant here, was what we need was to build our own space. So I think that something that is important if you come here to Barcelona and if you want to build your career is try to be part of the scene that is built already and try to participate. I think that's the key, to go to the lot of spaces that are activated right now. Something that happened to us was like we built something because we felt that was the necessity, and we also keep thinking that there's need more spaces because there's a lot of voices that need to be heard. I repeat what I said before, but I think the tip will be go to spaces, see what people like, and also hear your inner voice and your inner passion, and go for what you want to do, and also don't get the other spaces intimidated you, because I think there's a lot of places that there are barriers in spaces that you see, okay, I want to be here, this is my dream, and I think the best that you can do is work on yourself to after go and catch the attention of other spaces. I think the best is to communicate. Don't be afraid to talk, because this is something that we also really like. We do open calls because we want to see what are the people that want to share. So this is something that you as artists, or if you want to run a space, I think it's important to be able to communicate. We use art as language, and this will be our way to communicate. And I think this is the key: communication. Here, don't focus on your own, and focus on what is the community. Here, what are the spaces, what they're doing. Maybe try to do something different, or maybe do what you feel that you want to do. I think this is the key for me. Tips that I would give is follow your intuition.
100%.
Or 200%.
Say less.
Okay. Anyone else would like to say something on that point also?
Honestly, I feel like. Oh, sorry. Blake.
Oh yeah, it's hard to follow that answer. It was so good, but I think I can't exactly speak to the Barcelona scene. I'm in Toronto, but I think it applies to every city in the world. There's like I always find there's a sense a strong art community when there's an artist solidarity, and they're friends with each other. They communicate with each other. They tell each other what's working, what isn't, and just like following your gut and making sure that you stay connected, and just being around and going to other artist openings, other galleries openings, and always being present and available, and just like championing not just your own work but others. And I find that really, really helps the health of an art community in any city.
And I think, especially here, just go to galleries. Rock up there. Everyone is so nice. I haven't been to one single gallery in Barcelona where I don't feel welcomed. And go find your space, find your people, and try not to be shy to go and ask, meet the person who's running the space and get to know them, because I don't know, in our experience, I really appreciate when someone comes up to us and they ask us about the project, and I really respect it, and I want to, speak with this person and tell them what's happening.
Yeah, I think that something that I think we have in common is like we are artists and we run our own spaces, so we put on the situation of the other artists that come. And I think that you don't have to get intimidated with other people that the only willing are to make business and they are more focused on the administration or to dealing with some bureaucratical things. There are also galleries that focus on that situation, that they are more like cold, let's say, and you will get with that people. That is okay, because we need this kind of contrast. So I think that what Anna says, that get your own people. If you insist, I think is the key, and don't get frustrated with what are the first bad reaction that we will have, because life is like that. It's like ups and downs, and I know life is good.
Life is good, and there are people out there.
Yeah, and a little bit on what everything that was shared right now with this question that I want like to add is also this thing of like knowing also yourself and how you play and affect this ecosystem. And I love to do some metaphors always with like gardens and nature. Like we are nature also ourselves, and we live in this ecosystem. And I believe every relationship that we're building should be symbiotic, like this idea of like give and take. And what is my role in this place? Or understanding also the ecosystem very well, and even which, for example, when you go out to explore and you go to all these openings, what are they trying here to achieve as a, like in this gallery or this artist, and how can I play a role in this? Like how can I help them? So later, naturally, they will help you back. You know, like you don't have to force it. You don't have to like be pushy. It's just a natural thing. You know, everything that is given you'll be receiving back afterwards. Also, I have another question, which is more about the off-studio work, which is something that Artist Ally is very focusing on, like to help artists understand more this strategic part of, which is part of the career, you know, building a career as an artist. Beyond the artwork itself, what kind of off-studio work, like daily organization, management, or building relationships, do you feel that prepared you to be here today at SWAP?
I would say like getting comfortable with communicating, talking with people, and spreading the word about what you're doing with artists or people who are in the art world, but also people who are not. And like, what is it like to talk to your barista or someone that you know in your neighborhood? Like, let's bring people who aren't necessarily in the art world into the art world and see how that works, because it is a living organism that should be expanded, and it's part of life. So what you give to what's around you will also come back and feed into that process. So we wouldn't be able to be here if it wasn't for our community of artists and non-artists. And so I think we have our community as a whole to thank to being here today.
100%. And to Carolina, the coordinator of SWAP, we wouldn't be here without her, because I feel like she's changed the program a lot to support emerging galleries, young galleries. And as she said in her opening speech yesterday, yes, this is an art fair, and yes, it's to sell artwork, but more than that, it's a space for encounters and a space to showcase work. And I think we really relate with that ethos, and we're really grateful to be here.
I think on the note for myself, it is, again, like I wouldn't say this is an off studio thing, but it's a skill that I think a lot of people might take for granted, which is patience and constant work and nurturing of the relationships that we build, you know, like for example, me and Blake, like we became allies, you know, like we've been friends, we studied together, and this has been what 3 years I think. And yeah, I don't know, just keep in touch, like get to know what things are, how you can help each other, and look how things can unfold after. And I think it's just with intention, with presence and care that we can also be here. Like for example, I can speak for myself right now, being here with you guys, also nurturing like our relationships, collaborating, doing exhibition, and then later on seeing the potential of collaborating again. And yeah, I think being patient also, it's a thing that it's important to practice, and making sure that, and this also this self-assurance of like, I will make it, you know, I can do it, like if I put in the work, a little bit of work every day. This is something that a lot of people forget, like to be also caring with themselves and with their own process, while like getting to know every people, doing the work, the studio work, doing the off studio work. So yeah, I think this is more like a soft skill that I want to bring, but not to be taken for granted, I think. And
Yes. Just we have time. Like, just we have 10 minutes extra if you want.
well, we can do 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just happen to the subject.
Yes. Just yeah, like to ask a question. So we're on our side with Station of Commons. We've been listening a bit to the discussion, and I've been looking also a bit at your website. And so most of us from Station of Commons, we're based in Finland, and almost all of us also we're international art workers who ended up moving there. And we don't know much about the Barcelona scene and how it works. And I've heard a lot about how much more powerful it was, like communities here, like in the art field compared to Finland. But I was observing your website, and I see like you have all these toolkits, like to help. Like I guess it's also with the process of you as an artist, like selling your art or getting fees. I feel there are a lot of topics that are explored, and here, like as one person who just arrives in Barcelona, how do you navigate? Let's say I'm hearing about artists alike. What happens? Like what can be? Like I see there's a website, but so what are you here? Like can you help, for instance, with like saying like, oh, there is this opening, you should come, or like where is there, like what kind of dialogue you have the platform, and is there like yeah.
So we're actually mainly a newsletter. So what we do is every week we share drops. That's how we like to call the newsletter that we send to our subscribers. So this drop, we're not necessarily news about Barcelona art scene, but we do share what our allies have been doing and how they're supporting immigrants, immigrant artists, or immigrant cultural managers that are in the scene. So what we mainly share there is drops of wisdom that we like to call. So, and this can be in different formats. So it can be through gallerist insights from Blake, for example. So how to build a portfolio, how to talk with a gallerist, how to approach them. Me, I go more towards the mentoring side of strategic part of how to build new income streams as an artist. There's so many other ways that artists can make an income, not necessarily just by being in the gallery, right? The traditional idea of being an artist. But how can we be a bit more creative and get this financial part more keep going and more sustainable? But we also have, for example, templates. One that we are building right now, it's the inventory. How we build this inventory, the artists can download and just fill in with their information of their artworks, their merchandise. So we're basically helping them to get more structured, more wise, and just helping them with this off-studio work that we like to see.
Stuff like even how to prepare for a studio visit. We wrote an article a couple weeks about a question that I get asked often as a gallerist is especially from young, new, emerging artists, is how do I price my artwork? And that's, I find, one of the always the hardest questions to answer. But then we'll write about like here how to like use United Inch factors, when to raise your prices, when to like keep your prices, when to offer discounts, all these kind of things. At least within the commercial art space is the kind of perspective I'm coming from, and or as I said, how to do a studio visit, like how to present your space and how to present a CV, like, and just supplying artists and emerging artists with kind of these tools in order to, because people sometimes feel like there's no stupid questions, and sometimes people think these things might be obvious, but they're not. So, and we want to be like an unintimidating and welcoming kind of space and community where people can approach us without fear.
And just when we talk about Barcelona scene, we do have, the main thing we have is the maps, like I mentioned before. So, for example, right now we already dropped the photographer's map. So if you're a photographer, international photographer in Barcelona, you can already navigate yourself in the city through what we have pinned in this map. The other one that we have, it's actually Ines, a cultural manager that helped us, a collaborator of the platform. She created Hospitalet, a neighborhood that we have here, Hospitalet Arts and Culture Map. So there you can find where to do a gig if you're a musician, where to exhibit your work, like a Centra Civic. We have the civic centers where you could hold your own exhibition, but all focused in that neighborhood of Hospitalet. So in Barcelona scene, what we do mainly is those maps where you can navigate yourself based on your craft, based on your goals. Yeah.
And so, yes. Yeah. And so I have two questions quickly, and then we can wrap up. Do you know if there are other platforms also with some similarities than yours? Have you been in touch, like when creating this? Have you been in touch with other platforms supporting international artists in Barcelona? Okay, so I can see it's like no. And also, have you ever organized public events, like for people to meet? Are you planning to?
Oh yeah, we are. I think I'd be remiss not to mention that we are part of the Fabra y Coats residency put on by the city of Barcelona in concert with our university that we studied at together. But in terms of public events, actually, this is a perfect thing to say. We are running a scavenger hunt kind of tour with Casa Espacio, Print House Barcelona, which is another one of our partners, and 200 Cent. So next Saturday, you can join us. We're meeting at San Antonio on October 11th at about 2 o'clock, and we're going to be going through a series of tours where Juan P. and Violeta from Casa Espacio will be introducing their space. Kira and Anna will be introducing their space as well. Woo. And you can find any information on Eventbrite.
Thank you so much. And thank you to Chav and Blake
Thank
for
you for
creating this
having
platform.
us.
Thank you.
I think
you.
it's going to go really, really well.
Yeah.
It's a necessity.
Coming Friday, we have an opening in Casa Espacio. You all more than welcome. The 10th of Friday, we have an opening. Come.
And free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Yeah, we'll be visiting this together with our allies and the scavenger hunt. And yeah, thank you so much, Swap, for having us, and to our allies for sharing their stories and everything. And yeah, if you would like to know more about us, we're Artist Ally, and just follow us on Instagram. It's Artist Ally BCN, very simple. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you. Yeah, join us next Saturday. I'm curious.